Hello and welcome to another episode of the MRL Fastlane. Here, covering the Cup Series at Iowa. And there is a lot to talk about today. You can see that the race has already started right here. This was a very interesting race. Only one caution in this 140 lapper here. So essentially, there's not a whole lot of opportunities in order to make the car better. There's only opportunities to really capitalize on other people's mistakes. And so because of that, you can actually see that Cyber was the one that started on pole. However, this entire inside line, you can see, did not get going at all. There was 14 people in this race, with one person getting the I guess getting last place points because they couldn't be here. That was Agent Orange, and you're going to see how that impacts him in the standings here in a little bit. But yeah, this race was actually a very good one. I was always one of my favorites in order to race at. You have a lot of differing lines. A lot of people running low, a lot of people running high, people in the middle. This is one thing that you're going to see a lot of throughout this entire race is like the 47 and the 18 and also the 14 of UK back in that little white dot right here, back in the pack. Loving that high side, but I will say right now, is a surprise winner. So you can see that like everyone is just kind of migrating right now. Iowa is one of those tracks that as long as you kind of get on the right momentum swing, you are going to do well. We're kind of skip on ahead a little bit. Like I said, I don't want to really do a full breakdown of this race because you can actually just watch it right here. So what we're gonna do is bring it down from 1080 in order to make this go a little bit faster. But yeah, the field got spread out quick, fast, in a hurry. The main contenders for the win at this point in the race was a 47 of Bassbuck, the 24 of Cyber. This is because Xander RS Meatwagon, who normally was a contender, has won both iterations of Iowa that we've been to. Was suspended for this race, so very impactful in terms of how the racing was. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of skip ahead just a little bit farther. We start noticing that there are some drivers actually losing losing connection. You can actually see right here if this would ever decide to load. Oh my god, live on stream. You are seeing it now. Packers is not having I guess this was one of those glitch things. Piper was technically not supposed to be in this race, so he parked it for the night. But Packers here, you can actually see, did not. He actually is still in the race, surprisingly. It's just a matter of him not appearing out on track. So, because of that, really just skipping on ahead now. The 14's making his way through the field, and there are some comers and goers. The 21's one of those that are dropping from the back to the back, I should say, and the 20 is moving forward. The 96 as well. Our current point leader entering this race did not have a good race. In fact, actually, when he makes the one green flag pit stop, he is going to speed very not optimal right there, but you can tell that pit stops are happening, and this is when the 96 speeds, like I said. But it is very important to see that the differing lines coming on down early as opposed to late. This was a very, very big thing for that. So we had one caution at this point, and it was I do believe a lag incident that kind of created a little bit of this, but that brings a new contender into it. So essentially, this is what the 14 of UK needed in order to really get up to the front here. The 14 of UK needed a caution in order for this pack to happen, but this caution as well trapped the 96 of T-Bird a lap down. So big point implications there. You can see just how well the high side can roll as opposed to all the other lines out on track, at least early in the run. But much like I was saying, that it was mostly these two, the 47 and the 24. Now it's the 14 that's going to be battling for the win. And I will tell you guys right now, the people that win, it may not have been the I guess you would not have thought this was going to happen. But you can actually see that the battle for P4 is on. Currently, BD has it. And he has a very much a short-run car. Everyone behind, like the 18 of Kalen, the 22 of Cade also has a short-run car, but the 18 has a long run. The 20 has a long run. And even behind them, the 96 has a long run, but it takes so long for it to happen. It's like an extreme long run car where it's just at that point you're losing too much time. So yeah, we're gonna skip on ahead here. So essentially at this point in the race, it is now down to the 14 and the 47. Unfortunately, the 24 has kind of backed on off. You can see that the 12 has started to fall to the rear. The 18 is starting to get up there. And the 20 of BS has made his way up into the top 5. But yeah, you can see that as the tires start wearing, the line starts transferring to the bottom, which is, I think, awesome to see. Because I am one of those that prefers to be plastered to that yellow line right there. I love the bottom line at Iowa. I will refuse to run anywhere but. So yeah, you can see that as the laps start dwindling on down, the... kind of skipped on ahead. Coming out of turn 4, the 47 was not able to get there, and the 14 at this point makes it 3 for 3 in consecutive races that he has been with MRL. So that is an insane amount of consistency, I will say. And actually, you're going to see it in terms of points, because there is... oh, it's going to be so great. It's going to be so great, guys. So in terms of the final results... UK, Bassbuck, Cyber, of course we knew that. And then Kalen and BS, we saw that. But remember, Packers was actually out on track. He finished P6, so good job from him. Actually almost picking up a top 5 if we look at the times. BD, P7, Cade, P8, Brandon, P9, and T-Bird being the the first car a lap down. That is not how he wanted to... enter or leave this race, because like I said, entering he had the point lead. He doesn't now. US Trek MP11, Liam P12, Worscod P13, and then well, technically Piper, who's not supposed to be in this race, so Agent Orange technically gets 14th because of his last place points. So yes, quick thing to note before we move on. Both Liam and Worscod are... Worscod actually gets parked for the rest of the season because of intentionally wrecking Liam. This was his 3rd instance of intentionally wrecking, and therefore will be parked for the rest of the Cup season. Liam actually also will be parked for Martinsville because he was colluding and coaching Worscod to do that. It boggles my mind how hard it is for people to not wreck each other. It's mind-boggling to me. I mean, it's literally the hardest thing in the world. So there are things that we have in our lives that are just so hard, and apparently not wrecking each other is just up there on that list. So yes, Worscod parked for the rest of the season. Liam parked for Martinsville. So, let's look at the points. So, Bassbuck and UK tied after 6 races going into Martinsville, where technically it's anyone's race, because Martinsville is one of those tracks that, doesn't classically get run on many league calendars. So, that is going to be a big question mark as to who is going to be out on raw pace. You have a lot of contenders, I will say, but because of Xander not showing up, being parked for this race again, Again, people being parked, I know it's the hardest thing in the world to not do it, but here we are. Dropping all the way to P10, so he has a lot to work, a lot of work to do. 141 points back with 10 races left on the schedule. So there's a lot of work to do from him. But honestly, I want to give a big attaboy to BS for collecting 3 whole positions here. Kalen, same thing. 3 whole positions in order to jump to a top 5 and a top 7. Now, of course, with last place points, Nathan, by just virtue of just collecting points, was able to get into P9. But if we look at the technical battle for relegation, it is now down to 43 points between 10th and 11th. It's still anyone's battle here. And look at that. Even 11th and 12th is tied. So we have 2 people that are tied after race 6. One for the relegation zone and one for the championship lead. It's insane here in Cup. So I want to see what is going to happen for Martinsville. In fact, actually, here are the power rankings from Martinsville. Based on current performance, these are the top 5 that will probably happen. However, the dark horses, of course, like I said, attaboys to Kalen and BS, collecting 3 positions off of their results here in the points. So Kalen and BS having a good, steady stream of momentum that if they can translate that into Martinsville, I think that they can actually go up there and maybe have something. Because Kalen, if we look at Kalen, technically he is in the battle for the championship. Technically his battle is for 5th, 6th, and 7th right here. But, you know, that's c'est la vie. But it's insane. The Mo Power teammates here just absolutely having the consistency of each and every week. In fact, actually, they would be 1 and 2 in the standings right now. UK has finished. If we look to the stats here, is basically his one bad race actually came at the hands of Sonoma, where he hasn't. His worst finish, technically, apart from that, is 6th. But after that is Sonoma, where he just was not having a good day. And then you have Cyber, who had a last place points race. So these 2 technically would be 1st and 2nd right now. Because look at that average finish for both of these drivers. It is a 3.8 and a 5.3. It's actually mind-boggling how consistent these guys are. But going to Martinsville, like I said, it's going to be a big question mark as to who and what will be the car that will go into victory lane. There's a lot of rumors in the garage on who we think it's going to be, but we won't actually know until Saturday. So let me know in the comments, who do you think is going to win Saturday? We are going to be back in the driver's seat here. So I am looking to see for the sportsman side of things as well, who is going to be making a statement there. So with that, we're going to close on out here for tonight. This is the Cup Fastlane for Iowa. Thank you all so much for coming on out, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.